Okay. In a show you mentioned that we were fooled after death to reincarnate on Earth. You called it a soul trap. You mentioned having met with a being in a room which can show up as a known person of Earth, for example, and that it convinced you to come back to Earth to fix things. Did that happen right after having left your body, or did you have to pass through some sort of tunnel in order to get to that room? Is it true that soul recycling has been terminated?
Okay, I don't know what I mean by soul recycling. But there's a couple of different things that are getting muddled here. First of all, yes, typically when the soul trap was active, when one died, one got shunted into a illusory, I guess you could call it, holding pen that was designed to look like whatever that person believed in. Essentially, if you were Buddhist, it was designed to look like a Buddhist afterlife. If you were Christian, it was meeting St. Peter at the pearly gates. If you were Muslim, it was appropriate to that faith. Whatever your beliefs are, you got shunted into something that looks like that. And this happened also with near-death experiences as well, at which point they usually said, it's not your time yet, go back, sort of like you're here a little bit early, but here's a glimpse so you can go back and tell everyone what you saw. At that point, you would then be confronted by beings or a being who would then discuss your life with you and then say, but you have an opportunity to make things right, you just have to go back. And yes, I did go through this several times in several different lifetimes on this planet. The most recent human lifetime on this planet ended, I would say probably roughly 300 or 400 years ago. It was before smallpox reached the West Coast. I was a West Coast medicine woman of the Salish people, or the people who are now known as the Salish. What's left of my band, they perished in smallpox after I died. But portions of their historical remains can be found at museums in Seattle. After that lifetime, I went directly to this Lords of Karma setup, where they told me, that I had to go back, and I said no, and I left. And at that point, I resumed my higher dimensional existence. And then a couple hundred years went by while I was tooling around doing my thing, and I was approached by other beings who said, Tanakh, we really need you down on that planet. And I said, hell no, I just got out of there. I'm not going back. And they said, yeah, but we really need you down on that planet. And I said, you better give me some good evidence as to why you need me, and this better be worth it. And finally they convinced me, and yes, I did get born on this planet, and here I am. It was not related to the Lords of Karma, and it was not related to the reincarnation trap. It was a voluntary, intentional incarnation, and I was able to recover my memories during this life, or at least those that are relevant to this mission, which is also something that doesn't happen with the reincarnation trap, because they do their best to wipe you before they send you back. I have never remembered who I was in other lives on this planet. This time I did, and it was because I wasn't coming back from the reincarnation trap. I came back deliberately, and yes, it's been difficult. It is not easy to live in two worlds, to say the least. But it's still worth doing, I believe, for your sake and for the sake of this entire planet.